Now let's settle into a spirit of worship with a moment of quiet, to be followed by Jubilee Roses. By Valsa Lente. Let me give it another try. By the music of Valsa Lente by Oscar Maricanto.
We light our chalice today in honor of women. In a world that so often strives to keep women silent, secondary, and subordinate, we gather as a community of faith in order to proclaim not only the holiness, but the truth, the courage, the freedom that we gain when we honor women in our lives who not only brought us into this world, but who continue to remind us that we are part of the co-creative process of remaking it every day. So today we honor women, and for this, let our light shine.
Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Worcester, a congregation of love, hope, and justice, inspiring people to take on the challenges of a changing world. My name's Maura Rouse, and I'm one of your worship associates this morning. More on that in a moment. We begin by acknowledging that in Worcester, Massachusetts, we work, learn, live, and worship on the seized ancestral homeland of the Nipmuc people who thrive and remain active as the Nipmuc tribe. If you would like to learn more about the Nipmuc community, please see a brochure in our foyer or speak with one of our greeters. We offer a very special welcome to those of you who are new, visiting us for the first few times this morning. We are delighted that you're here. We hope that you will join us after the service in Fellowship Hall to enjoy some conversation and refreshments together. If you have questions or want any more information about this service or any of the ministries of this congregation, please do not hesitate to ask. We invite you to fill out one of the cards found in the pews, which can be placed in the offering plate if you have your contact information and wish to receive communications from us. For those of you joining us online this morning, we offer a very special welcome. For safety purposes, and so we get to know you a little bit, please place your name on your video feed as you are able. Take a moment to sign one of the attendance clipboards that are now going to circulate. Though that you are not obligated to sign in, we appreciate your information and will use it only for church purposes. During the service, we offer an opportunity to share a very brief personal joy or sorrow. If you would like yours to be read aloud by the minister, print it on an index card and put it in the plate during the offertory. These cards will also be posted outside the minister's office. For those online, you can type your joy in the chat, preceded by "please read," and they will also be included. In the foyer, in case you need one, there are listening devices and large print orders of service and hymnals, if that assistance would be beneficial to you. Now's the time to put your technology on worship mode. Finally, you want to see the announcements on the back of your order of service. Important information about the congregation and activities going on here. There will be time for short verbal announcements at the very end of the service. We're so glad you're here and hope that this morning is an opportunity for rest, reflection, and rejuvenation. I am not, as listed in the order of service, Anna Gregory, and it is a sad sharing that I must impart today. Her mother passed away last night. Anna has been working diligently for our congregation for ages now, a couple months, to put together a silent auction. And she opened the auction, for which you received a green QR code. You can join the silent auction and post your bids. She opened that auction at 7 o'clock, and her mother later passed away. So we will hold Anna in our thoughts today for this service about women and her mother and Anna's vast contributions to us every day in this place.
Our opening words today are called "In Honor of Women" by our own Erin Payson. Today we gather in gratitude for the women whose lives have shaped our own, women who nurtured, taught, organized, resisted, created, and dreamed. Some are ancestors we know by name. Some are foremothers whose stories were never written down. Some are companions still walking with us. In this spirit, we open our hearts to this service and a time to speak aloud the names of women who have made a difference in our lives. May we remember that we stand on foundations built by countless hands, and may this hour renew our commitment to build a world where every woman's dignity, safety, and brilliance can flourish.
Would you please join together in our opening hymn, number 1026, found in your teal hymnals. Please rise in body or in spirit. I'd like to call forward now our basket bearers, our participants in our religious exploration program who on a weekly basis come forward with their baskets of change for change. For those of you who are newest among us, this is an opportunity for those in our religious exploration program to contribute to the ongoing ministry of the Church's Emergency Fund. If you have change that you would like to contribute this morning, please raise your hand and one of our basket bearers will be sure to find you. A couple more hands, and I can take the baskets, and Maura can take the baskets. We'll send you off for a wonderful day of exploration and friendship, coming to know yourself and each other. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the sun of love surround you everywhere. Oh, you know what? We're gonna we're skipping that song because I forgot to put it on. So okay. I think because of the way that the audio is running, it's probably best. Because of the way the audio is running, it's probably best.
Oh, that's fine. Good morning again. Welcome to the church's annual women's service for International Women's Day. Today, March 8th, part of Women's History Month. Finally, women's work and worth are now finally beginning to get due credit for all the extraordinary work women do in the world in large and small ways. So today we're having a jubilee, a very joyous, special celebration to salute the achievements and recognize the unsung, unacknowledged, and often unappreciated work that mostly women do in caretaking for their families, friends, and whole communities. Today is the day we're going to say a big thank you to ourselves and each other for all this hard, invisible work. I am Diane Mann, if you don't know it, and I am one of your worship associates today. In addition to paying tribute to we ordinary everyday women, we will be providing a very special Jubilee homage to Ella Josephine Baker, a Black feminist lowly secretary at the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, which Ella Baker helped found. Just to let you know, I'm reading about Ella Baker, which actually was written by Joan McGinn, but her voice is too weak today to deliver this tribute herself. She is, in fact, on Zoom listening to our service. Anyway, let's take a minute to pause. Take stock and recognize heroic leaders of many inspirational social justice movements in this country. Quickly, with a show of hands, if you've heard of Dr. Martin Luther King, raise your hand. Yay, everybody. A remarkable man. How about Jesse Jackson? Keep raising your hands. Cesar Chavez, Alex Preddy, Samantha Good, Dolores Huerta. Very good. Dolores Huerta was a woman who led the great boycott in California to get better pay for migrant workers. How about gay martyr Matthew Shepard? How about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor? How about the brilliant W.E.B. Du Bois, Georgia Congressman John Lewis? How about Ella Josephine Baker? Wow, you want to come give this speech? Who was she? Do you know for sure who she was and what she did? Or is she sort of a vague name that you might have heard somewhere along the line, perhaps connected to the Black freedom struggle? For almost all of us, we don't know her name at all, never heard of her. For the rest of us, she is mostly a ghost without a name. Today, let's start to set that blank record straight about who Ella Baker really was. In the Black Lives Matter movement, Black men and women taught us the critical importance of saying martyrs' names and essential people's names aloud so that their sacrifice and contribution not be lost forever. So let's say her name loud and proud together. What's her name? Ella Baker. What's her name? Ella Baker. What's her name? Ella Baker. A little biography about Ella Baker. Born in Norfolk, Virginia in 1903, never went to college, became a low-paid secretary among mostly very famous Black and some white men at the NAACP, one of the first Black organizations to work against the pervasive racism, lynchings, and rampant discrimination of many Black and other marginalized people. It wasn't safe to live safely as a Black person in the South, so millions and millions of Black people walked to and settled in safer northern cities like Chicago and New York. It was called the Great Migration, the massive movement of millions of largely Black men and women moving from the deeply dangerous South to many larger northern cities. So where was Ella Baker in all of this? By far and wide, Ella Baker was the most brilliant architect, strategist, and innovative activist practically who ever lived. No exaggeration. She was a seat-of-the-pants learner, no college, and looked around intelligently to see what needed to be done, and then did it brilliantly, accomplished her goal. She knew it was critical to get Black people to vote, to better their lives, and to take racist, abusive Jim Crow laws off the law books so Blacks could finally register to vote. Where did she find these needed Black voters? She thought about where Black people gathered in the rural South, and she realized that so many Black people were in all those large and small Black churches. Temples and mosques have often been at the center of Black political organizing. Same with newer African and Caribbean communities, often do community and political organizing through their churches and many community events. This recruitment of Black people through their churches was all Ella Baker's vast, brilliant thinking and strategizing. Ella Baker also knew that many rural Black men and women worked as laborers in the fields, wearing those cotton overalls that you always see Reverend Ralph Abernathy wearing. Reverend Ralph Abernathy can always be seen in pictures next to Dr. King in his faded cotton bib of jeans. Ella Baker's message, all people are welcomed here, not just the well-dressed suit and tie crowd. We are a big tent, and everyone is welcome, no matter how rich or poor you are. Come as you are, in all sense of that meaning. We see you and welcome you. No entrance requirement in this movement for justice. Finally, Ella Baker strategized that there would need to be some demands for change at places of discrimination against people of color, such as segregated lunch counters in the South, like a Woolworth store, soda store. She knew that these sit-in black folks refused to leave their Woolworth soda chair would result in the black people getting hit and kicked and want to fight back against the white man or woman who is hitting them, cursing them, and calling them, these peaceful black people, vile, racist names. It takes enormous willpower and determination to undergo that degree of assault without retaliating in kind. So you know what Ella Baker did? She contacted and trained college-aged black men and women to be trained by Gandhi to learn nonviolent solutions. On TV, many news watchers saw these wholly peaceful, nonviolent black men and women being beaten and verbally abused for no reason, and it changed some hearts. It also changed many lives, making it illegal to refuse seating, bathrooms, buses, waiting rooms, water fountains, etc., to people of color. Yes, Ella Josephine Baker did all of this, almost single-handedly. Oh, and I could go on and on with many more amazing stories about her epic achievements. We have just begun to touch the surface of this remarkable woman's momentous life. She is sometimes called the woman Dr. King, but she is so much more than that. She taught Dr. King and many other famous civil rights leaders literally everything they know about conducting a successful, inspirational, and effective social movement for justice. Even Dr. King finally came around to later acknowledging that Ella Josephine Baker was the true jewel in the crown. The whole architect of civil rights, human rights, and voting rights, so pivotal in the black struggle in this country. She was the master teacher and the very most influential person of the whole civil rights movement. It all started and ended with Ella Josephine Baker. She died in 1986 in New York City in relative obscurity. Even today, almost nobody knows her name. Let's change that starting today. Repeat after me. Ella Baker.
Ella Baker.
We salute you, Ella Baker.
We salute you, Ella Baker.
We recognize your profound achievements.
We recognize your profound achievements.
Ella Baker, we're so sorry that you experienced such disrespect and sexism at the hands of many of our most honored leaders, both black and white. Ella Baker, we're so sorry that you often weren't given credit for your profound ideas, while other men, black and white, acted as if your amazing insights were their original ideas. We're sorry that you've had to live in obscurity all this time, but starting today, we see the full, dazzling you in all your glory and worth. Your name will remain on our lips, and we will spread your illustrious name far and wide. Let's say 3 more times. Ella Baker, we honor you.
Ella Baker, we honor you.
Ella Baker, we praise you.
Ella Baker, we praise you.
Ella Baker, the world is so much better for you having been here.
Ella Baker, the world is so much better for you having been here.
Blessed be. Amen. May it be so. And for your information, our opening song, which was on video, which was sung by Sweet Honey in the Rock, whose founder, Bernice Johnson Reagan, was a close friend of Ella Baker. The song, "We Who Believe in Freedom Cannot Rest," or Ella's song, is taken word for word from a letter by Ella Baker. Thank you all.
Good morning. My name is Dave Showalter, and I am on the 8th Principal Task Force. Our 8th Principal Task Force aims to educate and inspire our community to incorporate anti-racist and anti-oppressive commitments as part of our faith. The 8th Principal Moment is a monthly opportunity to think more deeply about how racism and oppression manifests in our everyday lives and continue to hold such issues in the forefront of our hearts and minds. Our 8th Principal journey calls us to actions that accountably dismantle racism and other oppressions in ourselves and our institutions. That word accountably is doing a lot of work. It means we don't just hold values, but we act on them in partnership with the communities most affected. And one way our task force has been trying to lean into that is by building relationships with the Worcester branch of Ella Baker's NAACP. Some of our members have joined the Worcester NAACP, attending monthly meetings and other events. We want to share some of what we've learned with the congregation because right now the Worcester NAACP is focused on something urgent and concrete, the creation of a civilian review board for the Worcester Police Department. The background is that the U.S. Department of Justice conducted a review of the Worcester Police Department. Their findings were serious, raising long-standing concerns about excessive use of force, the treatment of vulnerable people, and significant gaps in accountability. Community members, including those gathered at a January meeting organized by Black Families Together, reviewed those findings, and their conclusion was clear. The Worcester Police Department needs stronger, independent oversight. The centerpiece of that demand is the creation of a civilian review board, a body made up of community members, not city insiders, with the power to meaningfully investigate misconduct. And the last part matters enormously. A review board without subpoena power is a review board that can be ignored. The community is asking for a board with real teeth. Enrique Zuniga, executive director of Massachusetts Post Commission, the state body that oversees police certification, attended that community meeting and affirmed his support for local civilian review boards. He was honest that the state cannot oversee all 351 municipalities in Massachusetts on its own. And that's exactly why local accountability structures matter so much. This is the 8th principle in action, not as an abstract value, but as a specific fight in our specific city right now. Transparent, accountable policing is not a partisan issue. It's a question of every person in Worcester, regardless of race, regardless of neighborhood, is treated with dignity and protected by the same institutions that are supposed to serve them. So, here's a call to action, especially for Worcester residents here in this congregation. Please contact your city councilor or Mayor Joseph Petty and ask them to support the creation of a civilian review board with real investigative power. You can find your city councilor at worcesterma.gov. Go to the I Want To tab and find your elected officials. A phone call or email takes 5 minutes, and it tells our elected officials that this community is watching and that accountability cannot wait. The NAACP Worcester branch will keep pushing. Supporting them is one way we can live up to our commitment to the 8th principle. Thank you. I'm now going to switch hats. I don't see Cashy down here, but I am going to now be part of the stewardship, act as part of the stewardship committee, and just thank everybody who's pledged in the last week. We've more than doubled our pledges in the last week, so thank you for that. Keep it coming. And with that, it is my sincere pleasure to introduce Don Dowd to give a stewardship testimonial.
Yo, hi. I'm going to be completely honest, which is why I'll cut to the chase, why I pledge. hate the day we changed the time. I am so thrown off. I overslept the whole bit. And it would have been really easy to just stay home. But I'd made commitments to the choir and commitments to hear and commitments to do the online service work that I do. And those commitments aren't things I felt I could just put away because this space has become community and home for me. I grew up in a formal Lutheran church, and so I've heard about tithing and giving to the church and my entire life, and I have sat in the pews and thought to myself, they're asking me for money again and again and again, and why do I have to write it down, and why do I have to promise it, and if I'm already giving money? And so money to the church has always been challenging for me because I was in churches that appeared to have pretty good finances, at least they visually did. They were established and supported by larger entities that manage the churches. And the truth is, I don't feel like I'm at church when I'm here. I don't consider this church because it's not church like I grew up with it. It's been community and family and people who have shared beliefs, not always the same beliefs, but a shared commitment to each other and to the community, and that's what's important to me. And it's why I came, and it's why I've stayed. And I have felt so accepted to be who I am, to be able to come up here and say, yeah, I don't have anything prepared. Dave asked me if I do this, and I'm like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, I have nothing prepared. And I think that's probably okay, because I can be accepted for being who I am and just standing up here and telling you that's why I'm here. I've met beautiful friends who support me in my life. I have gotten so much support from the choir and from members here to sing publicly, which terrifies the heck out of me. I can't explain to you how much it terrifies me. But it brings me so much joy to get that response. And that encouragement. And so those are the reasons. I know that when I pledge, I know exactly where my money's going to, and it's not because I'm on the board now. I felt like I knew where it was going because there was transparency in how this church is run. So I know that the money that I give is going into the maintenance of the facility. I know the money that I give is going to caring for our ministers and the other employees of this church who keep things running. I know where all of it's going. I don't feel like I'm being begged for money. I feel like I'm being asked to participate and be part of a community. So that's why I pledge. That's it.
Yesterday's New York Times, which sounds like a cliche, opening a Unitarian Universalist service like that. But yesterday's New York Times, David Marchese interviews Rebecca Solnit. And asks the author whether it has to do with environmental degradation or degradation of our politics or of people. It seems as if the public is hungry for an individual to be a counterweight to Trump and Trumpianism, or Trumpism. I don't know whether that person is Zohan Mamdani, thank you, Mamdani, or Gavin Newsom, who is clearly trying to position himself that way, but for whatever reason, that person has yet to be identified. So what do you think that is? Or why do you think that is? Solnit responds with something that I think is powerfully important, especially today in this place as we honor women. She responds saying, one of the greatest weaknesses of our era is that we get lone superhero movies that suggest that our big problems are solved by muscly guys in spandex. It's an image I'm not going to be able to get out of my wife's mind. And let me just say an aside here and step away from Solnit for a moment. Back during George Bush's tenure as president, there was a wonderful book called, it was about Captain America and the something about getting rid of evil. And essentially what the author argued is that we're in an era where these superhero personalities that Solnit is referring to here, not only are they solo, but essentially the narrative is in order to solve problems, we have to step outside the rule of law. Right? So when we think about preemptive strikes, when we think about the degradation of the Constitution, right? I want us to think about the fact that that is all a part of what Solnit is referring to here. She's referring to muscly guys in spandex, but that is simply a meme for this narrative that we continue to generate as a country, that our problems can only be solved by those who step outside the bounds of law and who are able to do this in a way that creates the heroic epic. So back to Solnit for a moment. She said, when actually the world mostly gets changed through collective effort. Thich Nhat Hanh, she says, said before he died a few years ago that the next Buddha would be the Sangha. The Sangha, the Buddhist terminology, is a community of practitioners. It's the idea that we don't have to look for an individual, for a savior, for an Ubermensch. She says, I think the counter to Trump always has been and always will be civil society. A lot of the left, here we are starting to meddle, a lot of the left wants social change to look like the French Revolution or Che Guevara. Maybe changing the world is more like caregiving than it is like war. Wow. Too many people still expect it to look like war. That's the other part of that narrative. Then she finishes with this: I denigrate politicians that I don't respect as windsocks. I just want us to understand that the most important change is collective. Ella Baker once said that strong people do not need strong leaders. I think she meant that strength is somehow something we grow in one another, slowly, like roots learning the shape of the earth, like light learning the patience to arrive at dawn, even if it is an hour later or an hour earlier. Right? Ella taught that liberation is a conversation, a weaving, a long table where everyone brings a piece of the feast and we learn to feed each other. It's not the thunder of one voice, but the steady rain of many voices falling together until the ground softens and something new can grow. On this International Women's Day, we gather to remember the women who wove us. The ones who taught us to speak, the ones who taught us to question, the ones that taught us to imagine and to stand and to sit and to care for one another. The ones who held the door open even when the hallway was narrow. The ones who carried stories in their pockets and passed them to us like seeds. We remember the women whose names we know and the women whose names were never written down, but whose courage still lives in our bones. The women who marched and the women who tended the home fires and kept children safe, the women who shouted and the women who whispered truth into the ears of the weary, the women who broke barriers, and the women who broke bread so others would not go hungry. And as we remember, a truth rises in us. We dare not rest. Not because the work is endless, though it often feels that way. Not because the world is broken, though it certainly is at times. Not because we are tireless, we are not. But because the work is holy. Because the world is becoming, because justice is a perpetual birthing, and our shared life is always in need of tending like a garden that belongs to all of us. We dare not rest, because somewhere a child is learning the sound of their own voice, and they are watching how we use ours. We dare not rest because somewhere a woman is carrying a burden she should never have to carry. And she is waiting for someone to walk beside her and help take up the load. We dare not rest because somewhere a community is dreaming of freedom, and our hands and our hearts are part of that dream. Ella Baker's legacy, and so many other women, is not a story we tell. It's a legacy we inherit. It's the quiet insistence that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when we refuse to give up on one another. It's a reminder that leadership is shared, that power is shared, that hope is shared, or it is not hope at all. So today, with gratitude and resolve, we take our place in it. We lift our voices into the long river of women who have carried justice forward with tenderness and fire. We add our bodies to the work that began long before we arrived, and we will continue long after we're gone. And we say again with Ella Baker's steady courage echoing in our breath, we dare not rest. Not until every woman is safe, not until every woman is honored, not till every woman is free. And even then, we will keep rising to tend the world we make together. Amen. And blessed be. Would you like to hear some good news?
Yes.
Oh. Would you like to hear some good news?
Yes.
Excellent. Last night, I'm told that the coffee house, I know the coffee house was a rousing success because this place was jumping, right? I mean, this sanctuary rocked in ways it has not rocked in quite a while, at least since last year, apparently. And I want to begin by thanking Diane Mann for all of her work to make it happen, and for our music director, Matt Johnson, for all his accompaniment, for Robin and the youth group for their goodies, and for all of the people who helped make it happen and all of those who performed, reminding us of just how much talent there is in us and around us. And we raised over $1,230. And that is good news. And it is in honor of that good news that we continue to want to raise more money. which has something to do with the fact that we take up this offertory every time we come together. But I like what Dawn had to say, right? Even though it wasn't prepared, right? Because I've never done that before here. My nose is... I think that we contribute not because we have to, but because we want to. Because it's reflective of not just what we want this place to be, but it's reflective of our place in it. It is a commitment to continue to mirror into the world all of that which we gain here. And our money actually is one vehicle for that mirroring. And so... I heard you, and I'm just echoing it. How's that? So I want us to take the opportunity when we engage in our weekly offertory, not just to give what money we desire to give and in what form we desire to give it, but to take a moment and reflect on just what that contribution reflects about you, about this place, and about you and this place in this community and in this world. And know that regardless of the size of that contribution, what you reflect is important. At this time, our morning offering will be received. We come to that time in our service where we're given pause to consider what is deepest in our hearts or most profoundly on our minds or in the work of our hands. In the days that have transpired or in the prospect of days to come, joys and sorrows that touch us deeply and are given another measure of meaning because of our capacity to share them in the midst of a company that claims us as a co-journeyer. So this morning, knowing that we have a ritual arriving soon, I'm going to invite those of you who have a short joy or sorrow to share to come and form lines on either side of the sanctuary to speak briefly into the microphone, telling us first who you are so that those using our auditory enhancement devices might also participate in this important ritual, and then light a candle if you so desire. For those of you who are online, a reminder that you are welcome to place your joy or sorrow in the chat, and we will read it during this time in our service.
Hi, I'm Andrea. Hi, I'm Andrea. My joy today, and is what I am focusing on, is my son, my younger son, is his birthday today. He turns 3. I've been having a hard time with all the snow days and just moving forward and getting the energy to do so. And my children definitely help me with that. So I am lighting a candle for patience and for peace for myself moving forward.
Hi, I'm Mary, and this story starts 25 years ago, and I promise it'll be short. But my now late husband and I built a house in Fitchburg that I am 98% to the point that I am going to put it on the market. No, I'm not moving far away. I'm hoping I actually get a little bit closer to here, but I've had it up to here with an acre and a half of land to take care of, but I have proven I can do it.
Good morning, I'm Maura. I'm going to light a candle today because it's my father's birthday, and he was born 99 years ago today, and I know it's International Women's Day, and the men in our lives are part of our women-centered lives too. And I love him, and I miss him. Missed him for a while now, but thank you.
Dawn, once again, I want to invite us to bring into our hearts and our minds Anna Gregory, her mother Nancy, who passed yesterday, her family, her children, her brother Paul, who was a part of this congregation for years, and her father, who died a few years ago.
My apologies for having missed this, and I'm so grateful that it was brought to my attention. My name is Dawn. I have the honor of sharing joys and sorrows for our online community. And Laura Lenahan writes, "Today I am comforted knowing a woman will be doing my grandson's 9-hour cranial surgery this Wednesday. Girl power."
Let us be in the spirit of prayer and meditation. Spirit of life, mother of love, daughter of creation, we invite your spirit to be in and among us during this time when we honor the women who have helped to shape the course of our lives and shape the course of the life of our communities, our country, and our world. We are mindful this day of the grief that comes with the loss of our mothers and the joy that comes with the ability that we have to persevere through many of life's challenges, an acre at a time. We would be mindful this day of all of the ways that we continue to strive in a world that seems weighty, and that we tend to our children in ways that remind them that they are not just loved, but love. Help us as a community to embrace all of those needful of that message as we honor the women in our lives who continue to shape our understanding of it. For this, and for so much more, we give great and abiding thanks. Amen, and blessed be.
and accept that it's soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, and you'd better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changin'. Don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your role is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can't lend a hand. For the times they are a-changin'.
And now I'm going to invite this very large group to participate in a ritual that is usually done with 20 people or less. That means I need you to listen to each other and hear each other as I invite you to think first of some woman in your life that helped weave you into who you are, who knit you together, who planted those seeds that, that nurtured those seeds, that helped you grow into who you are. And as I invite you to then say that name out loud, remember to say just the name. And I'm actually going to make it to the best of my ability that we can hear it, and so the folks online can hear it. So if you are in the front rows and you are physically able, I invite you to get on the sides until we have 10 people. Now. Yes, I'm going to, that was my next thing, Dawn. Thank you. Okay. Now, we're going to start over here. Matt, please say the name into the mic. And after Matt says a name, then we're going to popcorn it out till we get the next person up. That way we will hear 10 names and we'll hear the ones online. And everyone gets to say one name.
I have 4.
Choose one.
There are 4 peacemakers who are in my heart this morning. One is from the Philippines, a woman who said, "You can call me Mom if you want."
Okay,
And
that's
her name
wonderful.
is Irene Santiago.
That's wonderful, Matt. There are too many people for everybody to do more than one. Go for it. Okay. Okay. One more out here.
Minnie Weber.
Walk fast.
Linda Krugel.
Enid Lachey.
Jean Liddell, George Camp Vineyard. One person, my mom.
In the back.
Rosemary Wood.
Sharon Templeman.
Lillian Floch. Frances Eaton Pentlarge. Catherine Mary Sabota Borick.
I love being the exception. I get to say a whole bunch. Sandra Vada, Barbara Raphael, Helena, Alma Leith, Diana Canterbury, Sadie Goldman, Mary Whitney. If there are any others online, please add them.
Out of the way. Little person. Little person. You're allowed to say it. Olivia Jackson.
Helene Lanahan.
Marcia Payson.
Hear those names. One more. If there are more names, raise your hand now.
Betsy Wooster. I apologize.
Say again.
Agnes McGinn.
Hear their names, honor them. This is the net that created this community. This is the gardener of this spirit. These are our women, our foundation, our home. Hear their names. Now everybody can say it out loud all at once. Amen and blessed be. Now let us rise as we are able and sing our closing hymn, My Life Flows On, number 108.
In your gray hymnals, please rise in body or in spirit. My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the ring through far off hymn that has a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? Through the tempest round me blows, I know the truth it liveth. The darkness round me close, songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm. Unto the rock I'm clinging. When friends my shame are undefiled, how can I keep from singing? Currents tremble as they hear the bells of freedom ringing. When friends rejoice both far and near, how can I keep from singing? Praises hell and dungeon vile, our flocks to them are winging. When friends by shame are undefiled, how can I keep from singing? Friends, as we leave this sacred hour on this sacred day that the world marks as International Women's Day, let us carry with us the wisdom of Ella Baker, who reminds us that strong people do not need strong leaders. Strong people grow strong communities. May we remember the women whose courage widened the path before us, the famous and the unsung, the teachers and the truth tellers, the mothers, sisters, partners, elders, and friends whose steady love and fierce vision have shaped our lives. May we honor them not only with gratitude, but with our living, by building the beloved community they dreamed of, by listening deeply, organizing patiently, and trusting the power that rises when ordinary people choose justice together. And may we go from this place strengthened by their example, and bless the world as we have been blessed, to give meaning to one another's lives as they gave meaning to ours. Go in courage, go in compassion, go in the enduring spirit of love that no injustice can extinguish. Amen, and blessed be. For those of you who care to join us in singing this song, the words, but not the music, are on Royal 9. So once you know if they're singing, you can become.
Marching, marching
Once again, beloved, worship in this place has come to an end, but our service continues first with very short announcements.
Guess what? You didn't miss game night because it's this Friday.
Right.
6 p.m. See you there.
The third No Kings rally is scheduled for March 28th, 11 to 1 in Worcester Common, and I believe it's also 11 to 1 at the 290 overpass and 1 to 3 at Institute Park.
And if you're worried about finding parking there, we're going to do carpooling from the church parking lot. So you can get in somebody else's car and they'll drop you off.
If anyone is still interested in Women's Runaway Weekend, we're looking for a couple more people so we can have food at the place.
And I want to remind you that it's Soup Sunday. I believe that my wife has created chicken noodle soup. I'm not certain what the vegetarian option is. Someone might know, but they're both there. Soup usually goes for $5, but to be honest, if you want soup and you have no money, you're going to eat, because I'm not taking anything home. Okay? So, let's eat.